Hey. Good morning, and top of the morning to you, and welcome to the Auspicious Wellness, Optimal Wellness Podcast. Come on in, have a virtual seat at the table with us. It's time for our Monday morning drive time show, broadcasting live and in studio and living color with you here today. We don't do ordinary, but guess what? You know what I want to say. We endeavor to bring you an extraordinary experience because we believe the information that we want to give to you, we believe that information to be pertinent information. We want to deliver information to you that you can actually digest and that is meaningful. The auspicious wellness experience is what we endeavor to give to you. My name is Debbie Smith-Torrence, your host. I am a life and a health coach, a manufacturer in cannabinoid molecules, for short CBD, a personal protective equipment provider, an IT developer, and what I'm most passionate about, a wife and a mother. We are broadcasting live in studio on the Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google, Stitcher, iHeart, Pandora, Alexa, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Deezer, Listen Note, Podbean, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Castro, and Castbox. And some of them that we don't know about on the Apple platform, but we're learning more and more every day. And so wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's time to dig in, dive in, drill down, and guess what? We always want to be true to you. We always want to do that. We just want to give our listeners, I'm so excited to be able to broadcast live. And we're being picked up in Ireland, also in France, and Europe. And I'm so excited that those places in Europe is picking us up. And so we're about to get into it today and dive in. And today, I'm so excited to be able to bring a wonderful coach to our program today. And her name is Heather McPherson. And Heather is a life coach, a health coach, a nutritionist, and a personal trainer. She works within so many areas of the body, which what we look at as optimal wellness, mind, body, spirit, soul, and wellness and health. We look at all of those different places to be able to give you balance and synergy in your life, to be able to bring to you what you need to do to be able to be your most healthy self. And that's the most important part. And so with that being said, I want to welcome Heather in. And Heather, welcome to the show. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good, Debbie. Thanks for having me.
Well, welcome. I'm so excited to do our show, that you're here to help us with our show today in terms of nutrition, wellness, mindfulness. I'm so excited about that. Also, along with stamina, cardiovascular health, all those different areas. I'm excited about that. I just want to give you the floor. Tell our audience a little bit about you. I'm so impressed about your story. And I don't want to tell this story. I want you to tell the story because it's a beautiful story. So if you would you just please share your story?
So I guess it started about 7 years ago. I've always been an active person in general. But one really cool thing I did was I started playing roller derby. And about 4 years in, although roller derby was very physical, I found out that it didn't do a whole lot of good at keeping me in shape.
Right.
So my husband and I actually had put on a few pounds, and he sort of spearheaded this weight loss journey that we started together, which was really cool.
Wow.
So I started, actually, the first thing I did was I went for personal training.
Mm-hmm.
And through that, working with different clients and that kind of thing, I've found health coaching and nutrition coaching and then life coaching. And so we built on all of these different things. And here I am with more self-confidence and self-esteem than I ever imagined that I would have. So it's been kind of cool, figuring all these different things out about myself, and how I can help others do the same thing.
Wow. That's something, because what I want our audience to understand is that you were able to accomplish something, you and your husband together, you were able to accomplish something, and you were not only able to accomplish it, but master it, because you've been able to lose the weight, keep the weight off, and that's important. And not only that, but go the extra mile and also challenge yourself to a new skill set. As you develop skill sets that were unbeknownst to you, you were able to challenge yourself to bring that from the subconscious mind to the subconscious mind, to then in turn create a career goal and self-improvement, and helping others to create and have self-improvement for themselves. That is beautiful, Heather, and it should be acknowledged. And I just wanted to acknowledge that because that's exactly what
Thank you
did. That's what you did. With that being said, what is one of the, I know that everybody is different and they're not the same. No situation is the same when we're coaching, but what is it that you're most passionate about in your coaching? What is one of the things that you're most passionate about?
I think the thing I'm most passionate about is making sure that people lose the word diet from their vocabulary.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. A diet for me is very restrictive.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be the one telling you not to have pizza or French fries. Mm-hmm. We're going to go have those together. And I mean, it's fun, right? So, but yeah, I think it's helping people figure out that it's not good food versus bad food. Mm-hmm. Food is food, and we're going to figure out what works best for our bodies and build our lifestyle around that.
Right. And so what we're saying as health coaches, we don't want, first thing is when you use the word diet, you're already self-sabotaging yourself. And the way that you're self-sabotaging yourself is because you say, oh, I'm on a diet. And then when you lose the weight, you're off the diet. Or say the New Year's rolls around and I'm on a New Year's resolution and I'm going to lose weight. I'm going on this diet. But then after the diet is over, or 3 weeks in, you lose your interest and then you're back to square one and you're not really helping yourself. Then you're on the yo-yo diet. And so what we're saying and what Heather was saying, if you just treat yourself to a lifestyle change rather than a diet and say, this is going to be a lifestyle change for me. This is going to be a lifelong practice of me learning to eat healthy, be nutrition, and at the same time, learn to move my body, learn to be able to stay healthy with movement, with my body. These are things that's going to help me with longevity and health in the long run. And this is what we're wanting you to look at. How important this is in the long run and over time. And so those are the things that's most important in health and life coaching, to be aware, to bring awareness, for you to bring awareness about you and who you are and what makes you and what works best for you. That's important as a health coach. And it's specific to you, the client, not one program that's not specific to anybody, but it's for everybody. That's not what we're about. We're about what specifically works for you. What helps you, not everybody, not something that's across the board. Because there's never, ever, like she said, anything across the board, because nobody's body is the same. And with that being said, Heather, I know that you like working with middle-aged women, and that's a passion for you. Can you explain why you like working with middle-aged women and what you help them do? Because I'm so proud of that purpose that you have. Go ahead, Heather.
I think why I'm drawn to that demographic, I think, is because it's me.
Right.
I started really on this journey 7 years ago. So late 30s, really. But just, I think as middle-aged women, we tend to get lost.
Yep.
We lose ourselves, and we're so focused on our family and children and jobs and keeping the houses straight, keeping the laundry done, and we forget about ourselves.
We do.
So helping helping other women to recognize that we're just as important as everything else going on in our lives is really important to me.
Well, and you're absolutely right about that. Once we really realize that you are the compass, you're the compass, COMPASS, you're the compass that makes it all work, that helps to keep it all together. But at the same time, the main part of the compass is you. And so if you're not healthy, everything around you won't be healthy. It's a known study. It's an actual study that women become sickest the most is because they ignore their bodies and their needs and take care of everyone else when they have a family. But we lose ourselves. Like Heather's saying, we lose ourselves. So how do we keep ourselves? How do we stay in tune? How do we evolve? How do we get to a point that we're getting better in life? We're not just existing in life. A lot of times we choose to exist because we make it about everything and everyone but us. But then the things that we need the most, we forget about. And so you have to make time for you. You got to take the time. Am I right, Heather? What is that like when telling a client to make the time and take the time for them? What is that like for them?
It's very difficult, actually. It can take a few weeks sometimes for them to actually recognize that it's okay to do that.
Yes, it is.
Even just, I'm going to go get a manicure. Well, that's an hour, depending on where you have to go and, getting there, getting back, getting it done. And, a lot of people think they don't have the time to do that.
Right. And then sometimes, it could be about getting together with a group of friends and saying, hey, why don't we hire someone to come out and take care of us one day a week? One day a week, whether it's nails, facial, I don't care what. If you're in a rural area and you got 4 or 5 friends, all of you guys pitch in and say, this is what we're going to do, is be able to do this. And if it's not about, if you can't get that, take time to reflect on a drive to get in where you got to go. Take time for some special, that this is your special treat. Stop off, eat, go get your nails done, keep your little stash together. What we're saying is take time and dig in and tune into you, because it's easy to forget about who you are. It's easy to look in the mirror one day and say, I don't recognize me. I remember the time when I used to do this and I used to look like this and blah, 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 blah. Just because we get older doesn't mean we can't become more beautiful. We can become more beautiful in our own self. We evolve as women. We're flowers. We do evolve. And in order for us to continue to evolve, we got to continue to water ourselves. And so that's part of what we have to do. And, what, Heather, so you're saying that it's difficult. We're just giving you a day in the life and trying to give you some insight and to help you, all listeners today. And so let's talk about something personal. Do you find that women feel like the one more thing when it's time to go to bed at night and be with their husbands, their mate, whatever, what have you, when it's time, that they just feel like it's just not even possible to get to that point anymore? Do you hear that more often than not? What's your thought on that?
Yeah, I can definitely see that. You have so many things that you're doing, and if you don't have the energy to get everything else done throughout the day, where am I going to have the energy to do that? As much as I might want to.
Exactly.
It's definitely trying to find that balance.
And so what we're trying to do is point out some things in about balance and synergy in relationships, because you do want to take care of your significant other. They want to take care of you. You want to make sure they go on the ride of their life. Okay, so how do you get to that? You get to that by having balance. And that's what we teach you. That's what we want you to focus on, balance, so that you can become your best you. You can become your best self. Everybody needs